Improved Production Racing Association of Victoria is proudly supported by Prestige Hino, Melbourne's most awarded Hino dealer. Autosport, specialists in all things motorsport since 1979. Kerrison Design and Mechanical Services, industry-specific mechanical engineering and project solutions. ProCut Tree Services, for trusted tree and stump removals. And Traction Tyres and Yokohama Motorsport, performance and safety for road or race.
Welcome to Sandown, ladies and gentlemen. It's round number 4 of the 2025 Improved Production Club Championship, and we're back at Sandown. It's all getting rather interesting in over 2 litres because there's 3 drivers at the top of the standings, very, very close together. You've got Royce Lyon, Matt Logan and Ian McLennan that are all going for gold with only a handful of points separating them. But it's a completely different story in under 2 litre where Larry Merrifield enjoys a very, very healthy championship lead. How's it all play out this weekend? Well, we're about to go find out. So the top 3 in the grid's been set, with Ian McLennan taking the chocolates ahead of Danny Timewell and Matt Logan. Looking a bit further down the grid, we've got Brett Lehman, who's going to start 6th this afternoon's first race. A little bit of work to do for you, because you're top 3 in the Overs Championship at the moment, and it's going to be a tight fight all the way to the end of the season by what it looks like.
Yeah, it will be, Steve. It's going to be a run to the line, I think. It's with this weekend, and then we've only got Phillip Island, I think, it's the last round for us. So, yeah. Got a bit of work to do. Still trying to get my head around the car and the bits and pieces we've done to it. So, but you know, we did a PB here yesterday, and I'm sort of floating around the low 19s. So, we'll hopefully try and improve on that over the course of the weekend and see how we go.
Yeah, your 19 in qualifying was quite a good achievement. There was a number of drivers that went sub 1 minute 20, so that's a positive. It's a good competitive field. Your car's had a little bit of work done to it though, because it's missing all of its usual livery.
Sure is, yeah. I just got one of the Vic V8 boys gave me a touch-up over at the Bend in South Australia, so I had to replace a few doors, and then I backed it into the wall, those nice concrete walls out of Calder, so we had a bit of panel work to do and paint work, so I thought, oh, it's time to a new wrap, and we'll try and get that sorted ready for Phillip Island.
Something you're not used to seeing a lot of in IP is other drivers running a different driver's car, and that's exactly what's happening this weekend. And it all stems from something that happened at Winton for you, John Perkins. Had a little bit of panel damage, and your car's not here, but you've got a borrowed one.
Yeah, look, I've got to thank Bruce Henley a lot. He's volunteered his car. I'm still running quite high up in the championship, so we wanted to try and keep getting points and see how we go. But Bruce has been very good and lent us the car for the weekend. Mine's still at the panel shop. I've got to thank Verica Brothers Smash Repairs for doing the repairs there. They've been great. But yeah, we sort of got too much damage and they need a bit more time to get it sorted for me. But we'll be back out with it. The green car, green RX-7 will be back out again for the last round at Phillip Island and for the Nationals, so that'll be good. And we'll give Bruce back his car, but thank you, Bruce.
We're welcoming yet another XL to the stable. It's growing quite popular here in IP in Victoria. Travis Mitchie, welcome to your first hit out in improved production.
Thank you very much.
So you brought across your XL from the XL series, and you joined because Lee Seelenmeyer and a couple of others have jumped ship as well, and having a bit of a ball already by the sounds of things.
Yep, loving every minute of it.
What's the main reason for jumping ship? Just because of those guys that have encouraged you to come across and the type of racing that's involved?
Yeah, so firstly it's mainly the friends. I've got Lee and there's Dallas as well, Jason Orchard. And just from the information that I've received from those guys, how great the club is, the racing. I thought I'd give it a bit of a go. So far, fantastic. I'm having a great day. Had a great day yesterday. So yeah, loving it.
And what's the biggest thing to get your head around so far with the transition from the XLs to improved production, aside from the tyres? I think most of it's going to be the pure speed disparity between the different cars.
Most definitely. The speed is something I've noticed yesterday in practice. It's actually good because you can basically keep checking your mirrors, and I think that's super important. That was missed in XLs. It's just the driving standards alone I find are really good in IP. The faster guys give you plenty of room as well. Really enjoying it.
Jamie Augustine, it's been a couple of years since we saw you out, so it's good to have you back. Car's had to freshen up, but it hasn't been all smooth sailing so far this weekend.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years after I blew 2 engines in 2 days at the Nationals in Sydney. And this is the fresh engine, but we've had a couple of issues. So we just keep feeding it water and feeding it oil and see if it'll stay in there long enough for us to get to the end. And we got through this time, but no guarantees on the next few races.
No, definitely not. So we'll hope you make the next couple of races and get through. You still started a pretty respectable top 7 or 8 starting position and finished within the top 7 or 8. So it's still a good result either way.
Yeah, started off P5 and I decided I'd do a Summonat style burnout off the start because I haven't used this gear train before, like the drivetrain, and I used far too many revs. I was going to put my hand out the window, like you do at the Summonats, but in the end I decided I should just get off the throttle and stop smoking the tyres. Eventually it went away and then I lost it, went out back to 7th and finished 5th, I think, which it's about where we are. So I did 19s most of the race, which is about all I've got in this car.
Luke Valencic, it's been a little while since we saw a son of another category score come into the category. You've had a couple of rounds now. How are you finding IP?
Really good, actually. I enjoy the rounds, I enjoy the racing. When you get to race people, it's awesome. Like the respect they have for other drivers is really good, And the cars, because they're all different, you usually find someone that's close to you, It's nice, it's good, I like it.
It's not been all smooth sailing for you so far this year. You had a bit of a difficult outing, I guess we call it, at Sandown, and then Winton you had the wheel come off, the studs and stuff as well. But you picked yourself up, and you're actually doing some pretty decent times this weekend.
Yeah, well, at Sandown it was really nervous because it was first race. It was a bit wet on the qualifying. I did the qualifying sessions, and I was sort of still a bit nervous, and I didn't really have much grip of what to do, how to do it. But now that I've done Winton, I did a practice session at Winton, and then my first qualifying and race, I did it on the Saturday, and then the Sunday, unfortunately, lack of preparation, and I just completely forgot to check what I needed to check, and my wheels did come off, which is unfortunate, but now it's pushed me to fix that problem, reassure that it's never going to happen again. I'm paranoid that the wheels are going to come off at every race. And then, I've just done a couple little mods to the car to try and get it to go a bit quicker, and turns out that, a bit of hard work and few setbacks, you can really get some money's worth out of the car, really.
Anthony, round 4 of the club championship for 2025. How was race 1 here on Saturday afternoon for you?
Yeah, like it was to me. It felt like qualifying, kind of just a long qualifying. In that, I didn't get a great start, so lots of wheel spin off the line. So a few cars got past me, and then after that, just trying to keep ahead of them or trying to get past them. Basically, it was just like perfection lap after lap. So actually quite tiring, but some absolute great racing.
A little bit tiring, you said there. You were a little bit loose on a couple of occasions, though.
Yeah, I was just making little errors here and there, so kind of the things that that's why I kind of go, it was like qualifying where you just had to have every lap absolutely perfect. And in fact, I think I got pipped on the line. I think he got a penalty, but if he didn't get the penalty, he pipped me by pretty much like 2 feet off the line. It was just, I made a mistake coming out of the last corner.
It's been 6 years since we saw Gary McKay last here with the Tirana at Sandown. Gaz, 2 races down. How are you feeling?
Mate, I'm feeling on top of the moon. Everything is going well. Sure, we're not the fastest car out there, but we're out there, and that's what I'm enjoying.
And all the guys that come past and have a look at the fine feat of engineering, because it always turns a few heads, this car.
Yeah, I don't know about the finest engineering bit, but it's certainly a lot of paint and shiny paint at that. So no, it's all right.
Now, one thing you have been doing very importantly for the club this year is it's a Nationals year for Victoria, and you're front and centre on it, and it's very, very quickly approaching.
Yeah, it's getting there, and let's get things set straight here. I'm not the only one doing it. We've got a good committee with lots of hard-working people to help put this together. We want to make it a really good Nationals, so but things are on track. There'll be a lot of information coming out soon, and yeah, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, so I guess we can expect things like entries to officially open in the coming couple of weeks, and all the information to follow after that.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few finer details we're going to sort out, and then certainly that will be happening. I'd be very surprised if it's not out in the next 2 weeks, absolutely.
Danny, car's been fast all weekend. Been a bit of an up and down weekend though, because you've had to fight back from a bit of adversity this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a very challenging weekend for us. We had a gearbox failure on Friday and we managed to get that fixed and qualified really well yesterday for second, but had a little bit of a moment and ran into the back of Macca at turn one, caused a bit of damage to both cars, but luckily we've both managed to repair them and get back out there.
Yeah, and then from your case, there was a rear grid start for this morning's second race, and then you've driven all the way back through to third, but you said it was a matter of just picking your moments when you could actually sneak through on the other cars.
Yeah, it was a little bit challenging, but I had all race to do it, so there was no rush. So it was just pick your moments, follow some cars through, and just keep it clean, really.
Mark's been a pretty solid hit out for you after a couple of years away from the track. 2 second places in 2 races. I guess you can't complain.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. Back for the first time, well, for a long time actually. Bathurst last year was my last race, and before that I think Winton, which we brought the car out for, and now, yeah, just getting over a bit of an injury and getting back into it, and yeah, happy to be back. So, yeah, good hit out so far, so yeah, can't complain.
Talk to us about the injury. Is it actually hampering your driving a little bit?
No, it was an ACL, so I did an ACL on a dirt bike, so I had a full knee reco last year. It's been just on a year now, and a lot of rehab, a lot of gym, and it's probably helped actually driving, to be honest. I feel pretty strong in the car, and yeah, no, I can't notice anything, so it's good.
First for the weekend in unders is Larry Merrifield. Larry, bit of a bigger field than what we've had for the last couple of rounds in IP, so it was probably a bit more of a challenge with all the bigger, quicker cars here at Sandown this weekend, but you got it done.
Yeah, definitely a challenge, passing faster cars and watching them and going through the slower vehicles, the Excels and stuff like that. But yeah, good weekend, well-run weekend. Couldn't be happy with the result. Excellent. My crew did an amazing job to keep this car going, and big thanks to Clean Duct Australia for their support all year. It's been a great year.
First overall for the weekend in overs is Ian McLennan. Ian, I'm going to give you this because congratulations on your first clean sweep for the weekend.
Yep, thanks Steve. Yeah, it's bloody awesome, mate. I've had a couple of race wins but never got all 3 and a pole, and just everything went well this weekend. We had a bit of an incident in race 2, but come good at the end, and that last race with Danny was sensational. That's why you go racing. Kept me on my toes the whole time, and yeah, absolutely pumped.
And that's a wrap for the 4th round of the Club Championship from Sandown for season 2025. It was a pretty important hit out for a lot of drivers because it was the warm-up to the IPRA Nationals at the end of the year. I'll be between now and then, we've still got a club championship to decide, and that happens at Phillip Island at the start of October. We'll catch up with you then, and see you next time, everybody. Bye for now.